looking for the way the Shenzhen ecosystem can work with the makers, can work with the new hardware startup. I'm going to just quickly go through of how we see makers and where they are and how we bring in the ecosystem to work with the makers. So I guess in China last year, there's a very big push for the maker movement. This is the Prime Minister of China visiting Taiwan Makerspace. I think you will go there on this tour, right? So last year he went to Taiwan and started to talk about this mass innovation project, the mass innovation policy, encouraging more people to create and to build things. And he used the makerspace in Shenzhen as a place to spread the message. But it's not just the politician in China who's interested in the maker movement. This is Obama. He did the maker fair in the White House, and also talks about makers building stuff and bringing and revitalize the economy and excitement among the young people. And not only the political leaders, the CEO of Intel. Right now, that's big. So Intel every year has two big events. So the IDF Shenzhen is actually ongoing yesterday and today. And last year, when the government announcing the mass innovation policy, the Intel CEO was on stage in IDF in Shenzhen talking about Intel is going to invest 120 million RMB into the mass makerspace and helping the makers around China to innovate based on Intel platform. As a matter of fact, we are actually we just got one of the Intel affiliated makerspace. And last October, in order to push the message further, there's a big showing in the Mass Innovation Week in Beijing and 10 other cities in China. And this is the Beijing side, and in the back is us. We are there with Taiwan and everybody else. And my head is somewhere around there. And we're looking for the reason why all the political leaders, all the platform leaders like Intel are interested in the maker movement. The big thing for this is there's a very strong trend of the Internet of Things development. Internet of Things is generally refers to basically just anything which is connected to Internet. Right now, by the end of last year, there was about 50 billion of them around the world, and that's mostly our cell phone, our computers. But moving forward, and if we start moving forward in the next 5 years, number is going to grow from 5 billions to 25 billions. And if we think about what the number is big, but exactly how big it is. If we think about 5 billions, who's in the 5 billions? It's Apple, it's Samsung, it's Sony, it's Panasonic. It's all this big, giant company. And it's Intel, it's Qualcomm, it's all this company in the back end providing basic technology. But it's also Foxconn, it's also the ASUS, it's also all the manufacturers. All of them combined to support a 5 billion units industry. But in the next 5 years, this 5 billion is going to grow fivefold into 25 billions. But the best part of it is not just how big the number is. If Apple is going to just do all the 20 billions, it's going to be boring. But the most exciting part is in the projections, half of this device will be coming from companies started in the next 3 years. And that's 10 billion units. That's 10 billion device from startup. So that's why it's becoming important for political leaders, because where the startup going to come from matters to them. It's important for the platform leaders like Intel it matters who is going to, what platform they are going to use.
Whose forecast made by
This
this?
is by Gartner.
Yeah, so now, okay, Gartner Group, okay.
This is Gartner Group.
Gartner Group, okay. And I totally agree with this one.
Yeah.
Every cluster is becoming growing, but maybe Internet of Things is most growing.
Yeah. And so a little bit background about myself is so I founded the first makerspace in China, in Shenzhen in Shanghai, in 2010. And in 2011, along with Anna Greenspan and Sophia Lenners, we started a think tanks to look at how maker movement can affect the ecosystem, how they bring about innovations, how they bring about the change. In the past couple of years, going through with the research panels, seminar, conference, also the publishing, we look at the relationship between the maker movement, China. And by 2014, we started to get a lot of requests from large companies to ask about what should their policy be relating to the maker movement. And in 2015, with the support of the Shenzhen government, we started the Shenzhen Open Innovation Lab, and we cooperating with the CBA from MIT. So that's Neil Christopher, the founder of the Fan Lab. This is Mayor of Shenzhen. This is Mr. Chen is one of the central government officials, and this is our opening day. And also working with Intel, we started maker gliders to look at what kind of platform, what kind of software stack is needed for the next evolutions. So coming back is really looking at the makers. I think the work is still around a lot, and people have different kind of perception of makers. And the maker coming up in this, along with the popularity of Iron Man, this is what people think of makers. These really cool people who's making robots, making drones, making 3D printers. But the question, the problem is it's just in a very short time. There's so many people starting making robots. There's so many people starting making 3D printers, and there's so many people starting making drones. But if you dig deeper, none of them come from the background of the engineering. A lot of them come from just they are curious and they can do it. So dig deeper into the phenomena. We really look for who really symbolize the maker movement. And what we found is one of the.
Welcome to Sunday Super Austin Mini Maker Show, Season 3, Episode 1. On this episode, we're gonna look deep into your body to find out what makes you tick. It's your heart, but we don't need to cut you open to learn more about it. All we need is a little green light. Today we'll be making an Arduino-based pendant that flashes to your heartbeat with this super awesome open source pulse sensor. Let's go! For this bloodtastic build, we will need an Arduino.
So we think she's really symbolized the maker movement. Sophia is a really cute 12 years old. She's not typically we think of a genius 12 years old who's enrolled in college. She's just a very playful, very happy 12 years old kid. And the whole internet and maker movement, powered by the open source hour, powered by the digital fabrication, and powered by internet sharing, enables Sophia to be able to grab enough information on the internet and build things. The one she's building is a necklace which is connecting to your heart rate. She has 50 more videos like this on the internet. You can check it out. She's teaching people doing the wearable to smart home to all the interesting projects. And she really signified the maker movement. It's really about this big wave of the new trend, the open source hardware, the availability of digital applications, and the internet share everything to bring this together. So it enables a 12 years old who can actually build all this amazing project and teach people about it. So a little bit on the open source hardware. The circuitry used to be expensive and exclusive. You have to get, you have to sign NDA and pay license fee to a big company in order to get their development board. In 2000 and probably five art teachers, machine mode engine, Tom Eagles, they got together, and then in order to help their students to build their project faster, they introduced Arduino and they make it open source, which means I don't need to sign any license in order to make it. Anyone can make it, anyone can change it. And along with the great books like Making Things Talk by Tom Eagles, it really opened the door to a lot of people be able to build hardware. You no longer have to come from a technical background. By just following the instruction, you can start to build amazing projects. And the second part is the enable people to build things. One of the reasons a lot of people don't build stuff is well, most of us are not very handy. At least I'm not very handy. I mean, if you hand me a saw and a piece of wood and tell me to okay, now cut a circle out of it, it probably looks like weird shape. But right now, no worry, with digital fabrication, with machine like 3D printing, with machine like laser cutting. And now all I have to do is draw a circle in a graphic program and just send it to the machine, and the machine will make them. So, and what is in 3D printer. And along with these two available open source hardware and digital fabrication, making things be able to share digitally online. So website like Instructable, website like the Fab Connections, they're starting to post huge amount of projects. So more people make projects, more people can build it. More people can build a project, even more people are sharing the stuff. So we started to look into this exponential growth of the movement because it's a network effect. It's kicking in, it's the more people share, more people build it, more people build it, more people share. And things get evolved very fast. And along with that is the growing of the makers. Right now, globally, there are about 2,000 maker space and 700, 800 Fab Lab. And if we look at the attendance of the maker fair, it's going down, almost doubling every year. So that's, for the past 10 years, the maker movement has been growing in that rate. But in the beginning, it has always been seen as this hobby, this recreational activity. But by 2011, and especially the end of 2011, when the maker movement meet the crowdfunding like Kickstarter and Indiegogo, which traditionally, if I had to build a hardware product, I have to prepare the entire investment to finish the research, development, productions, package it, put it on the shelf, into the channel, and in 1 year, I look at my inventory to decide whether or not I make money. It's a very high risk ventures. But with crowdfunding, now all I have to do is build one prototype, and I can present it on not even a complete prototype. I can put it on crowdfunding, get pre-sale. With that money, I can confidently go into productions. That's also very low cost of failure. And with the support of the...
Yes, that UAM is a quite a famous project, a personal manufacturing robot built from Shenzhen.
So the reason I'm also showing the picture of the Prime Minister again is so the kid next to him with the hand extending up, he's one of the 4 founders of the UAM. So the UAM story is this: 4 of them are in their senior year. They are interning in one of the companies in Shenzhen. And when they are interning, the 4 of them met, and they really like robotic arm. So they keep going to the boss, say, can we start in a robotic arm project? And the boss keeps saying no. And at the end of their internship, all 4 of them got offered from the company, saying, okay, well, you can have a job here after you graduate. But then they decided they really want to build a robotic arm. And unlike most of the a lot of young entrepreneurs today, they didn't go around with their 10-page PowerPoint and looking for investment. With the money they make from their internship, they rent a small apartment in Logang. It's pretty much a countryside of Shenzhen. 60 square meter apartment, and 4 of them just move in there. For 2 months, they work on this, and they put this on Kickstarters. They raised $270,000. That starting the company. So this is really good bootstrapping stories.
Only 2 months.
2 months.
From idea to Kickstarter.
To 3 months.
Yes, 3 months.
They finished the Kickstarters.
Great.
But 2 months for that prototype. And it's all happened in a 60 square meter apartment.
Yeah.
They and developed the whole thing.
But they have to live in Shenzhen. SZOIL ecosystem is what accelerates that in 3 months.
Yeah, that too. Along with the same idea, but so the other thing is for the past couple of years, the hardware accelerator getting set up in Shenzhen, in these regions. I've been mentoring for a lot of them, and these are 2 of my favorite projects. So Nomiku show up in Tech Accelerator in Shenzhen in 2012. So Lisa is a classic English literature major who's interested in cooking, and she really wants this sous vide machine, which is a French slow cooking. There's no one on the market, so she signed up for the hardware accelerator. In 3 months, they produced that, and it raised, I think, $640,000 on Kickstarters.
Yes.
And the company right now is doing very well. I mean, $3-4 million a year, and 70% margins. And on the right is in 2014. A new accelerator set up. Actually, they're based in Hong Kong, called Brink.
Oh, Brink.
Brink.
Brink, yeah, Brink, I know. I never saw it, but I know the name.
Yeah, so if you guys have come to Hong Kong, they have a pretty cool space in Hong Kong as well. With Brink, we're trying to see how fast can Shenzhen accelerate. So if we can bring the team around the world, come to Shenzhen, explore every resource Shenzhen has on them, how fast can they make it? So, well, this is Soundbrainer. Soundbrainer is a vibrating metronome. So it's come from 4 music students from Berlin. And they've been learning music in their entire life. And one thing they all hate about learning music is the metronome. And it's annoying, it's loud, so they're looking at it. Now we have a lot of vibration on the phone, so they want to make a vibrating metronome. Bring them to Shenzhen, going to industrial design house, solution house. Actually, this was done 4 weeks after they landed on Shenzhen. And I think they raised probably $230,000 on Indiegogo. So we started to look at this in the red part is the showhead of the long tail market, of the whole market. This is the company who has money, invest, research, development, everything done. But in the blue part is this new kind of funding, new kind of the way to build things. And this is what a lot of the maker movement is talking about, even with Chris Anderson's makers. Everybody talks about these pictures. And it's pretty evidence this is happening. This is going from the maker movement to crowdfunding. But recently there's a little bit cool down because everybody talks about the delay in the crowdfunding, how difficult it is to make hardware. Can this model scale? Can this model is open? Can they scale? But in the past couple of years, as we are doing research in Shenzhen, we discovered actually the model already happened, and it actually already built a very large industry in Shenzhen. So if you walk, Huaqiangbei is a place you will be going to, and you go around there, you see this all the weird and strange form. Different form factor, different model, different look. You got a Game Boy inside. Inside a phone. And none of this, typically, right now we see a lot of beautiful rendering of the phone of the futures. None of of this is beautiful rendering. Every single one of this is a shipping products. They might not be for a mainstream markets. So this is one of my favorite example. So this is a phone with 7 speakers.
Yes.
They are for the construction workers who have to work in the noisy environment, but they want some music, but they cannot wear earphone. So that was created in Shenzhen, and it's, I mean, totally, they are around for about 4 years. I think the total sales number is about 30 million units.
Really? Wow. Awesome.
It is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, I want to buy it.
I still try to find it.
Yeah, try to find it. Yes.
And
Maybe.
So we look at how did that happen and what's the implications. So if you're starting to look at the Shenzhen phone with respect to the major brand, I mean, they started in the future phone era. There's Nokia, there's Moto, who's in the show head, who's dominating the leaders. And all this Shenzhen phone comes in, they fill the gap of the products where the large company think it's not viable, it's not big enough for them to introduce product into. So the Shenzhen phone is starting to fill up all this gap. And this has a major implications because today it's 2016. If we just go back 10 years, let's picture if we stand here in 2006, and I'm giving a talk, and I'm saying, I'm making the statement, I'm predicting Nokia will go out of business in 10 years. You guys will probably want to leave.
Yeah.
In 2006, predicting Nokia going out of business was a really, really crazy talk. Because Nokia was on the trajectory to become the greatest company on earth. But in reality, it actually fell in 6 years. What happened? As Nokia expand, as the Shenzhen expand, they actually block every place Nokia has the future growth. So the phone was shipping by 2012, the day Nokia phone, Shenzhen phone was shipping about 300 million units a year. All over the world. About a third of them in China, and 2/3 of them Africa, Middle East, India, Southeast Asia, South America, Russia, Eastern Europe. And how can they be so fast? Everybody talks about how cheap it's cheap, but how can they get cheap? I mean, everybody build their stuff in Shenzhen. I mean, Shenzhen make globally about 95% of the phone. So there's nothing special about Shenzhen being cheap. But how come they become efficient? They become efficient and cheap, not because they are abusing the labor or they are disregard of the environment, but because they are open. So this is the term. It's called Gongban and Gongmo. Gongban referring to public board. It's the circuit board. Everybody can buy on the market. Gongmo referring to the case. So their Shenzhen ecosystem is horizontally integrated. There are tens of. I mean, this is autonomy of a smartwatch. So this is the circuit board. It does step countings, heart rate, everything. It's the same design, but you can get it from 20 different suppliers. This is the middle, the mechanical part. You can also get this from 10, 20, 30 different suppliers. And the end of this is the case. This is the look. You can also get it from all different kinds of suppliers. They go from every single look. This is a serious mountain climbing look. Actually, when we interviewed them, they told me there's a Hello Kitty one, but I still haven't found it. So this is how they become fast, because the system providing everything. You only have to go in there, take what's there, and then put the 5% of your most valuable change to it. You don't have to worry about the rest of the 95%.
What means Gongban and Gongmo?
Gongban is roughly translated as a public board. So think of it as open source hardware. And the Gongmo is referring to the auxiliary components.
Okay.
Everything here you can buy on the open market.
Yeah.
Around Huaqiangbei, you can actually get all of this.
Yes.
And this is how it's changing. And people starting to leverage this as opportunity. New kind of companies starting to emerge. Of course, a lot of people heard of Xiaomi. But other than Xiaomi, there's actually a very interesting example called Nico. Nico is right now the number 2 smartphone brand in France. They just overtook Samsung. But Nico only have 5 years of history. It's a company started in 2011 by a few French designers who's looking at, well, there's an opportunity for smartphone between $100 to $300 in France. There's no strong brand and they want to get into the market. But instead of raising a lot of money trying to design everything themselves, all 4 of them just fly down to Shenzhen, going to Huaqiangbei, and starting to look at the mobile phone vendors. And they found one they want to work with. It turned out to be Tino's in Shenzhen. And they introduced the phone at the end of 2011. And it has grown from 0 to, I think, right now it's annually is about 6 to 8 million units.
Wow.
Brands. And it's the second biggest brand. And they are actually on the trajectory to overtake Apple as the number 1.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they are actually becoming quite expensive because I always use Nico as a story. And last time I was passing by Paris, I wanted to pick up a Nico phone. And I just realized I cannot buy a $100 Nico phone anymore. Most of Nico phone goes for about $300 to $400.
Yeah.
But actually Europe, so it's hard to buy that as a product.
Yeah.
And not only that, the system continues to supply us.
Yeah, I really like this.
So, hoverboard. How many people have seen them?
Yes.
Heard of them? Played around with them? This is awesome. When you guys go to Huaqiangbei Market,
yes,
there are a lot of them. But the amazing part of this is this is a product. If you look up online, you will see it caught fire. But that's very interesting. When this product caught fire, when the reporters started to want to write about this, they realized one thing first: they don't have a name. I mean, this is a really popular product, and they don't really have a name for it.
Yes.
So they look up the name. There's like Skywheel, Hoverboard, Skywalkers, everything, and they finally decided, well, we're just going to call it Hoverboard. And that's how the name actually came about. It's not traditionally a company introduced this, having a name for it, so everybody use the name. It's get introduced in a very interesting way. It's created a mess by a huge ecosystem. People specialize in making wheel, making control ball, making the case, making the transmission, everything. And then another group of companies just put them together, mix match, and another group just go find the market. So on Amazon, you can see about 7,000 sellers. And in YouTube, you can see like crazy millions of videos about hoverboard. And last year, there were 14 million units sold. But the whole hoverboard started in 2013. So a $2-3 billion industry was created in 2 years. So how it happens? If you go to Huaqiangbei, look up for this. This is the white label advertising page.
Wow.
This is awesome. I think we have some of them around. I can find it.
Yeah.
But look for them when you are in Huaqiangbei. It's here.
It's a daily paper.
Yeah, it's a daily paper.
Daily paper. Wow. Daily innovation in Shenzhen.
It's Shenzhen Innovation Daily. So you can go to this and say, okay, well, I like this hoverboard and I want this in purple colors with Bluetooth speakers. And this is my logo. So you can actually put your logo on it. And this is what Shenzhen is. It allows people in all different skill sets.
Well, that's actual published daily?
Yeah.
Wow, every day maybe somebody making an editing and publish. and sending.
And the other thing is that this is all paid advertising. So
Yeah.
they are the most profitable paper media in Shenzhen.
Yeah, but I really want to register it.
They don't even. If you go to their website, information on the website.
Okay.
They're too lazy to publish anything on the web. And you can only get it in Huaqiangbei.
Yeah.
Deliver, you cannot subscribe.
My current favorite website is Giz China. I taking the lot of product in Huaqiangbei when I live in Singapore and Tokyo.
Yep. So it's really the next strength of the competition comes from ecosystem, not just technology, but the whole ecosystem. So how does Shenzhen ecosystem work? It has all this company. They are open to cooperation, going from industrial design house, electronic solution, technical solution house. On that, you get Gongban, you get Gongmo. There's assembler factories, PCB makers, and on the bottom of that, there's also logistic company, e-commerce company, and payment company. They're all open to cooperate with anyone. You can come in with ideas, and you can cooperate and pool enough resource to make a new product, and very fast, very quick turnaround. So one of the example of this kind of entrepreneur come out of these systems. This is Robin. Robin is actually in Shenzhen for about 10 years. So last 2 years ago, he started the project making this the TV stick based on Intel, and it runs Android and Windows 10. His team took about 6 months. Only a few people. They took about 6 months of them to go into the system, finding the partner to put this together, and they go into production. They started selling online with e-commerce. In 1 year, in 2015, they sold 80,000 units with about $130 each. So that's $10 million. And it's really interesting is if we put that number anywhere in the world as a startup, it's going to have the price, everything going crazy for them. But Robin is just another guy in Shenzhen. There are a lot of Robin around Shenzhen, and this is what the ecosystem can provide, and this is what the ecosystem can point to the next generation of the startup. You no longer have to go and rely on venture capital. That's another way to bootstrap your business. And so there are a lot of theories behind this. The democratizing innovation from MIT professors. Here comes everybody. So this is really bottom-up grassroots. The ecosystem is open to cooperating with many people. And we look at this so we have the ecosystem ready. But what's the next drivers? I mean, if we just do everybody repeating the same thing as what the industry has already done. Or I mean, if you look at those papers and if you look around the hackathon around the world, you see teams just repeating the same thing that already on the papers. Everybody do bracelet. Everybody wants to do smartwatch. Everybody wants to do smart home control, and they are just reinventing the wheel, which is already been a huge in Shenzhen. So what's the opportunity for the newcomers? Interesting is the third intersection of the force. There's a lot of predictions about AI being working. I started to study computer science in 1990s. For every year, our AI professor is that the AI is going to work in 5 years. Japan has the third generation computer project back in the 80s. We have to make the AI work. So it continues to fail us. It continues to not deliver. So we kind of starting to forget about AI. But last year, I sent my daughters to the US for a summer school, and she's homestay she's homestay over there. The house mom doesn't speak Chinese, and my wife doesn't speak much English. But we have WeChat, so we have a group. And I was like, oh man, it's going to be my trouble because they are all going to tag me and they're going to ask me to translate. But very happy I found out is I don't have to do anything because two of them realized there's an auto translation features in WeChat, and they will just auto translate it to each other. It works out really well. I mean, the translation is not perfect, but then it's enough for two moms to say, okay, well, how did the kid eat today? How did the kid have fun? Is there any trouble? I mean, it's enough to communicate that message. And it's a very powerful signifier is the AI is finally around us.
Yes.
Ray Kurzweil has this crazy curve on exponential growth of computation powers. But the interesting part is dividing into the gray area is really computers to starting to do things. We are amazed. Things like computer not only they can translate, they can hear. We have Series. Now they can see. I mean there are so many. There are many of the computer project which will allow you take the pictures and they will give you all this information. And they comes in this big. They comes in the very small size. So that means we can squeeze it everywhere. This is the latest book from Kevin Kelly. It's called Inevitable. English version I think is coming out in June.
Yes.
That's a Chinese version already came out in December. And one of the key things KK talks about artificial intelligence is not AI is going to solve a lot of the big problem. It's when people starting to acquire the ability of AI, and they are going to make it do things we think is stupid. It's funny. It's just goofy. I mean, but that's going to be the power because if we think about internet, especially in the 90s, internet people are doing goofy stuff. I mean, GeoCities.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff people are experimenting with. We are thinking they have no value. But at the end of the day, this is what emerging out becoming some of the strongest company on the internet. And so this is very insightful in terms of now everybody can leverage this AI, mash it into something else, and then create new objects. So we're starting to look at so how do we help the maker? How do we help this next generation? Do we just make pretty maker space, nice chair?
Yeah.
The problem with that is even Ford was talking about 99.95% of the entrepreneur don't even bother wasting your time with venture capital.
Yes.
You can go straight to business.
So stupid things of some funding.
So for last year, with that insight, first of all, everybody can become a maker. If you don't know how to, you can go on YouTube, look for Sylvia, and she can teach you. And it's very entertaining to look at her teaching how to become a maker. There's a massive opportunity of 20 billion IoT device. You can try having the ideas and getting to a market validation within 12 weeks, even less. And that's very interesting emergence of AI, which is a new force. And combined with all this, we're starting what we call the Maker 2.0 projects. We create a new pipeline. So from Make, I mean, right now, even with all this opportunity, in most people's mind, it's like making hardware is not something I can do. You don't have the confidence in yourself. So, place like FedLab, you can just come in and make one goofy project, and just the act of making one of them will give you the confidence to say, okay, well, I can do this. With that, you can starting to capture the opportunity. Starting to think about how can we integrate everything. And then you can just put on a web page, validate it in crowdfunding.
Yeah, that pipeline is so correctness and so opportunity. My friend, entrepreneur lives in investor lives in lives in Singapore. They told me we need a new STEM. New STEM means science and science, technology, entrepreneurship, and mathematics.
So with that, we started this bottom-up enterprise class, entrepreneurship class. It started as in 2014, Tongji University in Shanghai asked me to do a class. So we are on the base of formulating this, so my thing is so I offer a class in Tongji, and I said, just give me random students. Only someone who really wants to go entrepreneurs. Just give me a random students. Let's put them through the process and to see what happens. So my first class in Tongji, there are 23 people, and there are 17 of them are senior students in civil engineering. And the first question they come into the class is so professor, what do I have to do to get the credit in this class? Because they are senior students. They need the final credit to graduate, and that's the intention they have come into this to take the class. But at the end of the class, they actually all come up with something very interesting. But back then we don't have that platform and ecosystem to help them. But in the past years, we built that up, and we opened the class again in September in 2015 across 5 universities. It's in Tsinghua in Beijing, Eurasia in Xi'an, in Xiamen. So, and the participation of the students are amazing. I mean, they all come out crazy, interesting, fun ideas. We end up with around 50 projects out of the 5 schools, and we are right now putting 7 of them in the pipeline of going to Indiegogo. And the first one will hit Indiegogo the fastest by the end of this month.
Wow.
And so this is, so we are really looking at this as a new force of innovation. Now, I'm going to, it's not coming out and giving a PPT about how my thing is going to change the world. I'm going to convince 500 people around the world my thing is valuable, my thing is interesting.
These courses are your service and you provide to the university?
We provide it to the university. We'll actually make the class open source very soon.
Bit similar the accelerator, but they choosing a product and funding, and you as product, you provide a service to the other persons.
Yeah, so it's actually, the class is actually summarized out of my experience as a mentor. Accelerator. But accelerator, you need a lot of determination. You need to suspend 3 months of my life. It doesn't have to be that difficult. I mean, for students, 1 semester is 3 months. So they can just go in and say, okay, well, I want to try this. I mean, even at the end of that, they don't produce a product. As long as they turn in the paper, they still get a grade, they still get a credit, they still get the experience. That's
a so nice service. But maybe only different point is accelerator is doing a funding and choosing a project from accelerator. But this service is maybe mentoring is almost safe, but you not need a funding and you giving a service to the students. Right. Okay.
So this is one of the projects coming out of this. She's a product designer, product design students in the Donghua University in Shanghai. So we run this AI workshop and show them the videos of how AI can see. And so she came up with this really cute products. What it does is actually very simple. So most of us kids knows a lot of the kid education book tell us that you have to, when you hold your kid, your toddlers, 1 to 5. When you hold them, walk around the room, walk around the street, walk around everywhere, you have to keep pointing. Okay, well, this is cat, this is that's a wall, that's a house, because that's how that's how kids acquire knowledge. That's how they associate real life objects with language. But the parents don't have that much time to do it. And on the other thing is even we cannot be with the kid 24/7. So, but before that, that's only human can do this. Because we are the only one who can see and actually talk about what it is. But now the computer can see. And actually the computer can see based on the same theory we teach kids. So this is reversing it. So we are actually use computer visions. So they hold this, either they show something in front of it or they put it somewhere, and this was starting to analyze the scene, speak, and you will listen to kids' feedback, and you will give update to the parent about now the kids starting to pronounce understandable language. And this is the team of 3, and this is another interesting one. This is a robot. This is a spider robot about this big. And this is by a team of people who really like robots. And this is the a group of Chinese medicine.
Looks so interesting.
And so what in the Chinese medicine, it's believed how your sleep quality cycle is reflecting to your internal organs.
Yes.
So from like 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, how you sleep reflecting to the health of your liver. And they coming from the Chinese medicine background, and they actually have the data to look at the trend and actually prove it's actually a good predictors. So what I end up wanting to do is they just want to do a sleep tracker, just track that period of time of your sleep.
Yeah.
Once we get the data, every day it just recommend you something to eat to be better, to better protect your organs. So with that we're really looking at this more complicated pictures than what the general maker movement is talking about. It's not about maker coming to this, use wet lab and produce stuff. That's not the whole story. It's really coming here, make a space, realizing I can do it. Leverage crowdfunding and leverage the entire supply chains of Shenzhen to grow this as a business, to grow this, and you don't have to compromise. I mean, the internet really enable any crazy idea. If it's really worth something, you should be able to convince a couple hundred people on the internet to support it. So with that, what we are doing here in Shenzhen Open Innovation Lab is the whole ecosystem here can be intimidating, can be unfamiliar, and you have to learn the way of working with it. So we work with entrepreneurs who wants to understand talking to the system. We want to understand how to work with the ecosystem. And Sam here is our director of ecosystem. Sam is having a decade of experience in the outsourcing manufacturers, and in the past couple of years, he has helped a lot of the hardware projects. So, Bob, if you have any question, grab me or grab Sam. And again, welcome to Shenzhen and welcome to Shenzhen Open Innovation Lab. Thank you.